And finally tonight, the hypocrisy of hypocrisy. It truly takes the cake. Pope Francis is down in Mexico City today, and he's traveling up to be in Juarez across from the Texas border and El Paso. And he is criticizing Juarez and other cities for their drug trafficking and their money laundering and working with El Diablo.
The head of the Catholic Church met with Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto and delivered a message.
Each time we seek the path of privilege or benefit for the few, society becomes fertile ground for corruption, the drug trade, the exclusion of different cultures, the violence, and also human trafficking, kidnapping, and killing.
Vatican City has been connected to, implicated, and proven to be involved in massive money laundering and massive drug dealing in the last 100 years. They were involved in helping ship out 30,000+ Nazis to the U.S. in the Rat Line, an Operation Paperclip. When he was a cardinal down in South America, the parties he was involved in were involved in all sorts of death squads and disappearances of people and corruption and narcotics trafficking. I mean, it's like watching Don Corleone and The Godfather sit in judgment over a capo that did something. It'd be like watching Hitler run the Nuremberg trials and convicting Hermann Göring to death. Western governments and megabanks on record made drugs illegal in the 30s because worldwide they didn't have alcohol prohibition in the U.S. and other similar things. They wanted to jack up the prices, have a black market they controlled to corrupt the police, and then control the sex trade and everything else. And to have this Pope, the king of hypocrisy, sit there and also say that you must let the immigrants in. It's so horrible you don't let them in. He didn't tell Mexico to let immigrants in from Guatemala to Mexico South. They have some of the strictest controls in the world in Mexico. No, he said America isn't letting in enough, even though we've let in 40 million in the last 20 years conservatively and let them have their babies for free, everything. He sits there and uses racial politics for divide and conquer. When we were just at Vatican City last year, some of their walls are 200+ feet tall, and they have armed guards with machine guns. How about he says everybody from Latin America go to Vatican City and be there? It's all about class warfare. It's all about globalism. It's all about world government that he's been calling for. And that's what this comes down to, and that's what's so disgusting. So Pope Francis is truly a piece of work. The media criticized Donald Trump last week for just saying, Pope Francis is very political, that was the quote, and he doesn't understand our problems in America and all the crime coming over. And the media's like, how dare him get, with CNN, how dare Trump get political when the Pope didn't get political? So just everything is lies. And you know when the mainstream media starts backing a Pope, so you can say what you want about the Vatican, they used to really criticize it. They are after anybody now that doesn't go along with getting rid of our borders and bringing in world government. It is a truly sick joke. If the Pope wanted to end the poverty in Mexico and the big problems down there, he would speak out against the big land barons and the colonialism they still have in place. And he would more importantly say we should decriminalize drugs, not legalize, but decriminalize to take the profit motive out of it. Pope Francis is an incredible politician. And so we have a right to now criticize him because he's not a religious leader. He is a pimp selling the world government agenda and the EU takeover of the planet 110% and wealth redistribution to help the poor. Another scam like Obamacare that only gives the bankers trillions more. You want to get screwed over? Sit on Papa's leg. He'll take good care of you.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.